What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the video. You're here because you want to grow some big tree trunk legs. Some legs that you just look down and you're like, golly, that guy means business. I would not want to mess with him because power strength comes from the lower body. You see a guy with big legs, you know they lift, you know they love it, you know they get after it. So I got 4 things to do to build your legs. Newsflash, they're pretty common, they're pretty simple, but sometimes that's the key. Simplicity wins. Number 1 is gonna be squats. Yes, you gotta squat, you gotta do it heavy, and you gotta do it often. I'm a big fan of a high bar back squat, but any squat variation could work. That could be a high bar back squat, that could be a hack squat, that could be a front squat. You just gotta squat, you gotta load it up, you gotta go at high intensity. And one of the most important things I think is the frequency. I would aim to squat at least twice a week. You know, it's the center part of any lower body strength day. Should be the main compound movement. You just gotta squat. You have to do it, but squatting heavy, squatting often. I like to aim twice a week, usually kind of staying in that 4 to 8 range. That 4 to 8 range, you load it up, you know, you're in that 70 to like 85%. Those are heavy, those are nasty. Multiple sets, 4 to 6 sets. You do that twice a week, I promise you, your quads, your glutes, your legs will just blow up. Number 2, you got to RDL. RDLs are the king exercise for your posterior chain. So heavy RDLs, I think a lot of time people kind of under train the RDLs, and I used to do that too. I used to use kind of as an accessory movement at the end of a session, no straps, just kind of go 8 to 12 range, rep it out, and I'll do like 2 plates, 2 1/4. And then I started realizing, oh, this is a compound movement. Got me some straps, and what do you know? You can RDL in 5 plates. So you'd be surprised how strong you are in an RDL, especially if you haven't trained it as a compound movement similar to your squat. So get you some straps, use a belt as well, but really load it up. Treat it as a compound movement just like you would your squats, your regular deadlifts, and go heavy. Go heavy, go often with it. I would say frequency, at least once a week, maybe twice a week if you wanted to, but it's definitely a great movement that needs its love. It needs its love because it's so good for your posterior chain. Your hamstrings, glutes, lower back, nothing develops it more than that. Number 3 would be a heavy single leg exercise. So this could be a Bulgarian split squat, a reverse lunge, a walking lunge, a split squat, something where you're loading one leg and just going ham on it. Lunges, another compound movement. There are a million different Bulgarian split squat variations you do. You do dumbbell Bulgarian split squats. You do a barbell. You could do one of my favorites, a hand supported or a Hatfield Bulgarian split squat. You could do a barbell reverse lunge. You do a hand supported reverse lunge, dumbbell reverse lunge. There's endless examples of single leg work you can do. Common theme, you gotta load it up. You gotta go heavy. The mental fortitude you get from doing a heavy set of 8 of Bulgarians and being like, oh shit, I get to do that again on my other leg. So really a heavy set is really a heavy set of 16. So it's also just a pride thing, a mental thing. You wanna build some willpower, load up some Bulgarians for some high reps and realize you got to do it on both legs. Yeah, that builds some mental discipline, but it also builds some massive freaking legs. So heavy single leg work would be number 3. Number 4 is some isolation work. So obviously we talked about the staples, the squats, the RDLs, the lunges. Those are going to be key. Those are going to be the bread and butter. Hell, you can only do those and develop massive legs. Now, a lot of people love machine work. They love isolation stuff, and I do too. And there are some great ones to throw in. The classic leg extension. Classic leg extension, you can't go wrong. You want to blow up your quads, get a nice pump them, really isolate them. Man, you hop on that leg extension, you go to town on it. Those will build some great quads. And then hamstring curl variations. So whether that's a seated hamstring curl, whether it's a lying hamstring curl, what's a glute ham raise, any sort of hamstring curl variation is super important to do because your RDLs are training your hamstrings, but your seated curls, your lying curls are also training the other part of your hamstrings. Your hamstrings cross both your hip and knee joint, so you want to train both parts of it. Hamstring curls, they're gonna be your friend. Man, nothing makes your hamstrings feel like they're gonna rip like those. So those are great to do as well. And then calves. Everyone wants big calves. Everyone wants to get after calf training. I'll be honest, I didn't do a ton of calf training, kind of neglected calves. Now I'm throwing it a lot in because it's just easy to do. It's not super fatiguing, but there are a million great calf variations. Hell, standing calf raises, seated calf raises. But if you really want to build your calves, high frequency with it as well. So maybe you're hitting them like 2 to 4 times a week, really building them there. But that is number 4. If you want to build big legs, it's freaking simple. It's probably stuff you already knew before going in here, but I just wanted to re-emphasize it. Squat heavy, squat often. That's gonna be number 1. I would aim to squat at least twice a week. Well, that's a barbell back squat. What's a barbell front squat? Well, that's a heavy hack squat. You just got to load that movement pattern. You got to work in those heavy ranges with those high intensities, and you got to do it frequently. So number squats, don't skip out on your squats. Number 2, heavy Romanian deadlifts. They're the ultimate posterior chain builder, your hamstrings, glutes, lower back. Again, straps are key. Load them up. You'll be surprised how strong you are. Treat them like a compound movement. Number 3, heavy single leg work. Well, that's a Bulgarian split squat. Well, that's a reverse lunge, walking lunges. You get it. Find a variation you like. Load it up, just like all the other movements. Go heavy in it. Really isolate one leg at a time. Get strong at it. Build some mental fortitude with those high rep sets. And then number 4, just some isolation work with leg extensions, hamstring curls, the basics. Those are great machines to really isolate those legs, used after you do all your compound stuff. And then building the calves up, doing any sort of calf variation throughout the week to really build those up. But those are my 4 rules for building big legs. Again, it's simple, it's easy to do. Or is it easy to do? Because when you go in the gym and you execute at a high intensity, you know how deadly it can be. So don't overcomplicate your leg training. Hell, a simple day format could be you walk in, you warm up, you start with squats, maybe you're doing 4 to 6 sets in that 4 to 6 rep range, you're loading them up. And then number 2, you're doing RDLs, 3 to 4 sets in that 4 to 8 range. 3, you're doing a heavy dumbbell Bulgarian split squat, 3 sets, 6 to 8. 4, you're doing some sort of seated hamstring curl, and then 5, maybe finishing with some calf raises, both 3 sets, 8 to 12 range. A simple leg day, it looks so simple on paper, but if you go and execute that at the intensity it's supposed to be, I promise you, you'll never want to do a leg day again because you're like, oh my God, this is what legs are like. So, as you guys know, because I know you guys are savages, you get after it, building your legs, it's simple, but it requires a lot of effort. So, let's build some tree trunks this winter time. You know, you want to be on the beach this summer where you got these 5-inch inseam shorts with your legs just popping out. And a guy will see you on the beach and there'll just be that silent nod. He's like, that guy hits his squats. So hit your squats, get after it, build some big ass legs. See ya.